In this video, you will learn how to use Gemini for your daily life and also for research topics. And at the end of the video, we will look at Gemini's deep research tool. Now, for this, I have 6 daily life examples that anyone can use. For this, I will simply paste my prompt. Actually, it already happened. I already copied it. And let's go to Gemini. Here, I'm just going to paste it. We can see it's a fairly simple prompt, and besides, if I want, I can add a picture of a refrigerator. For example, let's copy this. Let's go to Gemini Images and simply search for an open refrigerator. For example, something normal. This would be a normal refrigerator. Let's save the image, and let's assume I took this picture of my refrigerator. So I will click the plus button, Upload Files. Here, I will select the image I just saved. Here it is, and I will simply send it. I click Send. There it is, and it will give us recipes for our food based on what it sees in the fridge. For example, here it is. This is the preparation. All of this is here. I don't think there was any chicken. It seems not, but it made up that there was chicken. But anyway, there it is. And well, this would be the first example. Now, let's go with the next one. And here we are, simply going to put this, which is a daily life list, so that we can organize ourselves better. It is simply a balance between exercise, work, and family time. We put it in, and it will make our list. It already set the schedules I have to follow and so on, although it is a bit more aimed at someone who works from home, since if, for example, I were to put my schedules here, if, for example, we click the little pencil here to edit, we put this in. I just added this prompt so it includes my schedule, and we can see it starting to structure it correctly. For example, from 6:30 to 7 a.m., I wake up and hydrate. From 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., I exercise. From 8 to 9, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I talk a bit with my family, we have breakfast and so on. And here is my work schedule. We can see it respects it. There it is. And at the end, we have the family schedule, dinner, a hobby, maybe playing video games and so on. We even have the no screens option, so we don't have any problems in the morning. It is perfect. It even gives us more strategies here, so I can include that in my daily life. Remember, you can take a picture of your refrigerator, of the ingredients you have, and see what you can cook. Since we are not always that creative when cooking, we can also generate some lists. And here, I still have more examples. For instance, an exercise routine from home without any type of dumbbell, weights, or anything like that. In fact, it appears right there. Ta, ta, ta. It gives us the type of exercise there. It is quite good. Push-ups. Here, we have a very classic exercise. Many more little things. All of this is with your own body, like a type of calisthenics, and that is perfect. Now, we will move on to the research topic. And for example, when we want to buy a new cell phone, we usually go to YouTube videos, ask our friends and so on, but it is not the most efficient way, since it can take some time. In fact, watching a comparison video, like these types of comparisons, takes about 10 minutes or more. So, here in just a few minutes, we have the precise comparison. For example, when it was launched. Also, we have the screen size. It is a little bit bigger. We have the chip. We have the RAM. We have the camera module. We have this and that, and so on. And besides, based on the release dates, we can see which option is the newest and which one will suit us best. In fact, we also have the screen hertz here. Here, we have pros and cons, and the final recommendation, which is very, very good. Also, for example, I have another prompt here. Let's put it here, and let's use this one to watch movies, maybe on Netflix, for example, this prompt is not complete. I simply added this part, something very classic, so it shows me where I can watch them, on which platforms, Prime Video, Netflix, HBO, Disney+, and so on. For example, here, it tells me Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Google Play. It is perfect. It is the Superman movie, a very good movie. We have this one. We have the Jurassic World one. Here, we have the story, a fairly quick summary. It says there that I can watch it on Netflix and also on Amazon Prime Video and other little things. I can also tell it to generate more movie lists and such, and it is quite good. Now, finally, if for example, in fact, I will take this, I activate the deep research option. Actually, I am going to add a new chat. Here, I will put this. I'm just going to delete this part, and we see that it will give me a few more results. Also, I can include the exact sources so that the reasoning is even more, in-depth. Also, remember, this mode is designed for you to upload books as PDFs, magazines, or whatever you want. Obviously, the source should be a bit larger, for example, a 100 or 200-page PDF or an entire book, so it gives you all the results you want. Obviously, it will analyze it, and here you can add complex, complete sources, websites, and more. I will let the artificial intelligence do its thing here. I will simply hit send. And remember, this mode is slower, so if we waited seconds before, here we have to wait a little bit longer. There it is. We will click Start Search, Advanced Search. Let's wait a little bit. It is already progressing here. We see how many sources it took. I mean, it tells us exactly the sources here, which are many, but many sources. It even took performance tests. That is fine if, for example, we want to play video games and such. Here, we have the screen, the processing power, the camera's versatility, many things, literally, in great detail. Obviously, it will be a more complex result, and remember that this can improve if you add your own sources, but we see that it automatically searches for the best possible sources. For example, here, it gives us more things, the software, the performance, many more things. Here, we have different sources, it seems to me. There it is. In fact, it lists the iPhone operating system. Here, we have the charging speed, the hardware, and materials. I mean, we can see it is analyzing it in detail, and besides, it is a very simple topic. Now, imagine if it were for something, I don't know, for university, research, or a thesis. This is the best tool to do it, and besides, we are only at 50%. As I was saying, this can take several minutes. It is not seconds, it is minutes. And well, that would be all for this video.